Arena Singleton in Standard. This is my favorite format to play on Arena, and until we get Brawl on Arena, it's as close as we're gonna get to playing Commander online against our friends. I've played Arena Singleton a lot, and today I want to talk about my favorite red cards to run and the strategies that I like to take behind the color. Hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. We're going to talk about red in Arena Singleton, but real quick, if you would do me a favor, go down there, hit that subscribe button, and tell a friend about our channel. It would really help us out and appreciate it a lot. Let's talk about red in Arena Singleton. So real quick before we get going, we're going to do one of these videos for each color in the current Arena Singleton Standard. However, I wanted to go ahead and tell you the ground rules that I gave myself when I was picking these lists. First off, these cards were picked in a vacuum. I didn't pick these cards specifically to synergize or strategize with any other cards that might be fun to play. I just chose what I thought were high power level cards on a good curve so that we could have essentially a good stuff deck, and it serves as either a deck that you can work with and play by itself, or a good list of cards to pick from if you need a specific mana cost high level card of this color. And that's my next point. You can either use the list that we're about to go over as a full deck, copy and paste it and go play, or you can use this as a list of inspiration or cards to pick from if you're trying to fill out that last slot and you need a red card. As such, there are no gold cards in this list. This is a mono red solely list. And as I said, the list is in the description below, so go down there and copy and paste it and go play if you want to do that. Otherwise, let's talk about my picks for the red cards for Arena Singleton. So let's swap over to the deck and see what we've got. So as you can see, I've put together a full list of Arena Singleton red cards. A thing I've noticed about red decks in Singleton is that you can go faster than you would think you'd be able to go with the color. I have played a mono red deck in Singleton in past events and absolutely burned down my opponent. It's surprising how you can still stick to the main strategy of the color in Singleton even though you don't have access to running 4-ofs of some of the best cards like Lightning Strike and Shock. So as you can see from my choices, we have definitely curved out low. We've got 10 and 13 cards at the 2 and 3 drop slot, and that really allows us to rush them down and kind of catch our opponent by surprise. We're starting with classics. Firebrand, Lavarunner. We are running Spear Spewer because if our goal is to keep their life total below ours, then this is going to be a hugely valuable card as a long game card to us. Shivan Fire for dealing with low cost creatures, Shock, Banefire as a finisher of course. Moving to the second 2-mana slot, we've got Electrostatic Field. Of course it's going to work with our instants and sorceries and just deal more residual damage. Cratermaker just because of versatility in Singleton, in Brawl, in Commander. Versatility is king. And so it really helps to have a card like this that can destroy a colorless permanent by, Karn the Planeswalker, or you can deal 2 damage to a target creature. Immolation Shaman, this is a finisher. I've won games with this card, being able to menace through for 4 damage. Rix Maadi, because the color itself doesn't have a ton of card advantage, and so you want to be able to manipulate what's in your hand so you can just keep going and stay on curve. Runaway Steam-Kin's a classic. Pyromancer, classic. Lightning Mare, great, kind of it's specific. It's a super card against blue decks, but in general, a mana dump, and it can really help you with the long game. Lava Coil, classic, get rid of the Drakes. Lightning Strike, have to run. Flame of Keld, this is one that I have used as a finisher as well. You will tend to run out of cards in your hand with this deck, and the Flame of Keld is a kind of card that can take advantage of the fact that that's going to happen and give you some more value. Moving to our 3-drop slot, we've got Burning-Tree Vandal. That's more hand manipulation and it really helps out. Clamor Shaman, this is one that will allow you to get through with your creatures and just keep that pressure on. Keep a little bit of damage happening to your opponent every single turn. Gutter Snipe is a lot like Electrostatic Field. It's going to give us residual damage for the spells that we're casting. Legion Warboss is a high pressure card. It's classic. Same with Chain Whirler. Clear their stuff off the board, do a point of damage as it comes in, and keep the pressure on. Skittering Surveyor. Now this isn't a red card straight up, but I wanted to include it in this list because red doesn't have a ton of access to mana abilities, go and get land abilities, and so this is the kind of card that in a mono red deck you're going to want to run. If you're using this video as inspirational list for cards that you might have missed for red, you'll probably skip Skittering Surveyor, but if you just copy and paste this list and play it straight up, Surveyor is hugely valuable. It's a chump blocker that will make sure that you're hitting your mana curve. Fight with Fire. This is a fantastic card because it can be used as removal, and then again, it's versatile, so it can be used as a finisher if you just need to do straight up 10 damage to the face and you've lasted that long. Light Up the Stage. Again, card advantage in a color that doesn't have a ton of it. Risk factor, same thing. Skewer the Critics. It's like a lightning bolt. We gotta run it. We need the most damage output that we possibly can get. Same with Wizard's Lightning. Repeating Barrage is a 3-cost Wizard's Lightning. It'll go to any target, but it comes back. This is a card, I have done 12 points of damage over the course of an entire game with this card. It's so good in this format to make sure that if you don't knock him down in the first 5-6 turns and win the early game, you can last all the way to the late game. Chaos Wand is another card like that. This is a card, we've covered this in our favorite colorless cards for Arena Singleton. This is a card that gives you more value the longer it's on the field and the longer the game goes. You can cast the card off the top of the opponent's library. It's a fun card. It's definitely a coin flip. You could hit a blank, but if you do hit that enormous spell that lets you steal a bunch of creatures or draw a bunch of cards, this is the kind of thing that can give you a lot of fun coin flippy value. Moving on to our 4-drop slot. As you can see, we don't have a ton of stuff past the 1, 2, 3. We really want to go rush with this deck as it's constructed. Moving into the 4-drop slot, we've got Inferno Hellion to just be a huge threat that's going to be tough for them to answer. They either need to strike it down with lightning, or they're gonna take some damage from this and it's probably gonna kill one of their creatures. Rekindling Phoenix, just because it's absolutely primo creature, and Experimental Frenzy to help with the long game. Again, this is a card that we've seen a lot in standard red decks, and it's just as valuable here. When you run out of cards in your hand, you're gonna need something to help you keep going. Moving to our 5-drop slot, we've got Charging Monster Sword because a trampling, hasty creature out of nowhere is a lot of times able to lock up the game for you. Rubblebelt Recluse, just because it's a high pressure card, 5 mana for a 6/5. It does have the drawback of needing to attack every single turn, but if this can curve out well, it is a beater that just keeps coming and keeps coming. They've got to answer it. Demanding Dragon, again, it's versatile. We're not always going to get a creature sacrificed, we're not always going to get to deal 5 damage, but at the end of the day, a 5/5 flyer for 5 is already good, so the fact that it forces them to sacrifice a creature or take 5 damage right when it comes into play is even better. Moving on, we got Siege Gang Commander. Again, super versatile. It's going to allow you to go wide as soon as the creature hits the battlefield, and it's going to let you sacrifice any goblin you've got, including itself, to deal 2 to any target, so you can knock down that planeswalker, you can finish off that player, last couple points of damage. Super versatile, love this creature. And moving into the 2 cards that we've got at the 6-drop slot, first up is a Tali Primal Storm. If this creature resolves and then you untap and swing with it, I've seen this card win games by itself. It's hugely valuable. It gets 2 cards off the top of each library, 1 off of each, that it's going to let you cast for free. I've absolutely seen this card swing games if you can't answer it before they untap and swing with it. And then after that, we've got Inescapable Blaze. Inescapable Blaze is probably one of my sleeper favorite cards in this deck. It can't be countered, so sorry blue deck. It's going to be 6 damage to any target for 6 mana. I've used this as an absolute finisher, just get those last 6 points of damage across. I've seen it, I mean, it's like another Banefire. You're actually paying 1 less mana, and at instant speed, that makes it even more valuable. Do it at EOT, do it when they're tapped out, do it in response to them countering something else. It's a great finisher and a wonderful top end for this deck. After that, as you can see, we've got 22 mountains in the deck. It's got a low converted mana cost, does this deck, at 2.9. And so we're able to get away with 22 mountains, especially running Skittering Surveyor and cards that are going to help manipulate our hand, like Burning-Tree Vandal and the like. We can run cards like Memorial to War in this. I'm not a huge fan of this one card. I do like a lot of these Dominaria colored lands that come into play tapped and have a residual effect, but I'm just not a huge fan of Memorial to War. Thank you so much for watching, I appreciate it. Let me know what cards I missed for Red Standard Arena Singleton. Again, like I said, it's one of my favorite formats. Let me know if you use this deck to any value, and let me know if you take any cards out of it and put them into your Singleton deck. I'd love to see your list. I'm tapped out. We're streaming every Sunday night and Wednesday night. Subscribe if you like the video. Tell a friend about our channel. We'll catch you later.